Alright, gang, let's try this again. I've switched it to 30 frames per second as opposed to 60. Now that's for video. I don't know if it'll... I think it looks like it's a lower frame rate on my screen, so it's probably... I think it's going to translate to the stream. Hopefully. So far we're at excellent connection, but also that one started off as excellent connection. So, it's kind of annoying because, like, bruh, I gotta figure out what I want to do with that other 6-minute clip. Dang it. Take 2. Let's do this again, gang. Let's run it back. So far, excellent connection. I think by now the last one also started buffering pretty good, so I think we're going to be okay. I think. And we're back. Boom. Glad you guys didn't go anywhere. Yeah, I could definitely tell on my end, on the OBS display, the frame rate's a little lower. Like, you can just tell it's not as whooshy. So that should help, because it was streaming at 60 frames per second, which is absurd, because ain't nobody gonna watch it in 60 frames per second, or at least be able to, because it would buffer like crazy. No, I think that, whoa, I accidentally maximized OBS. No, I think that did the trick. Actually, I think that did the trick. I do believe so. Good. I'm glad. Okay, so now that we've done the thing, let me open up a new tab quick, and we're gonna do the director's commentary. If you want to see, yeah, honestly, actually, what I'm gonna do real quick, I'm probably gonna delete that last one, because I don't want that to be on the, I don't want that to be there. Yeah. Dang it. I'm gonna delete that, I believe. That's what I aim to do. I think everything's still good. Bitrate's cool. Sweet. And that's the funny thing, the bitrate wasn't that far off. Like, it was only a little while before. It was, yeah. Anyway. Okay, so this is the one that I need to get rid of. How does one remove? Let me delete it. Oh, if I'm being honest, it scares me to death. Alright, gang. As soon as I can delete this other video, we're gonna hop into the commentary. But again, like I said, one of the things that I was really focused on in this particular edit was the fact, like, the director's commentary was such a great idea on it. Dude, I'm so glad it was. I don't want to say I came up with it, because I don't think it was fully my idea. I think I had some of your guys' help, but I don't remember. So yeah, I think it had to have been like a collective effort, I think. All right, deleted it forever. Good. Okay, so now we are officially rocking and rolling. Director's commentary. Let's go. Okay. So again, I want to address a couple of things. No, it was Garrett that did. Oh, really? Okay, cool. Well, pat myself on the back then, I guess. But no, a couple of things I want, especially you guys, to pay attention to is, like, when I talk about, I was talking about I'm almost positive it was my idea. Oh, so now we have conflicting viewpoints. I don't know. Like I said, I was thinking it was like a collective, like we were on a stream, like on Tuesdays or whatever, and we just decided, like, we came up with it together, but I could be wrong. But anyway, for this video, I want to make sure that you guys are paying attention to the right things. So the one thing that I thought was, like, and the thing I was intentional about was making sure that I was very, the visual storytelling was there. I wanted to make sure that the sound design was as good as I can make it. And holy crap, ranked tags. Let's go. Okay, I want and then one of the goals, another thing, was, like, this video to be ranked in search, because, like I said, that's one of the things Evan and I had talked about, as far as making a regular good video, but also make it for search. Okay, so do we want full screen?
So when I make these videos,
stop. Easy. I wish it wouldn't, like, autoplay when I adjust it from full or to full screen. So anyway, we're gonna watch this. Do we want to do? I think we should do this screen, because I feel like that is better, because I'm not, like, taking up space on the viewing experience. Or should we do? We should do. Shoot, no, that's not the wrong one. That's the wrong button. We should do theater mode, because nobody ever does theater mode that I'm aware of. I very rarely see this. Although it's because it's kind of funky looking, honestly. I don't know. Either way, let's watch it. Let's watch. A couple of things, like I said, to pay attention to: visual storytelling and sound design. Let's go. I always love to use this. So when I make these videos, I always love to use this tripod, the Joby GorillaPod 3K Pro Kit. The problem is, it's not always the most practical. Now right there, that like the first 10 seconds of the video, something that I was adamant on doing this in this edit was making sure the sound design was peak. And this particular example is something I do regularly anyway, but the transition to another scene, not only is there a visual transition, which really there isn't because it's like, it just cuts, but that audio transition is a hint to the viewer like, okay, we're getting ready to get to something else. So we go back
The problem
and see here,
is, it's not always the most
it starts playing. Starts playing while that first scene is still happening. The music starts playing, so that hints to you guys as a viewer, hey, we're getting ready to have something else happen, so get ready for it. And this is kind of like helps to ease you into that other scene. Fun fact, let me show you this.
always the most practical.
So my camera, I had it set up on the floor, and there's like a floor mat right next to that door. So I stepped on that floor mat, and it kind of slipped, and I didn't realize this until I was editing, but it moved, like it bumped the camera. I decided to leave it in there because that's like that gives it that sort of humble, sort of homemade feel to it. See that? It's just like a couple of frames, you can tell. Also, what is I'm like.
So one of the ways I like to use this camera is by setting it up somewhere in the car whenever I am doing just like a talking shot. So one of the
Yeah, I love you guys have seen the video. I love the new shot. I feel like you could spend the entire stream on the first 10 seconds. Dude, I could! Yes! Because that's important. The first 10 seconds is so important to the video. And actually, yeah, it's just so important. There's no way around it. What they ought to do for TubeBuddy stuff, see how they have like Twitter mentions? They gotta have threads. Like, I shared this to Threads, so it should show up on there. Because Threads is the new wave, bro. I've been obsessed with Threads. Pinned comment, chapters added. I gotta get in the habit of like adding chapters, because like timestamps basically, because like it's valuable. People can find something like, and honestly too, you can search for it and it'll pop up like with that particular timestamp. Threads, yes sir.
Really one of the only ways I can do that.
But yeah, this is the steering wheel shot, and I want to describe this a little bit to you. So I have the tripod. It's got 3 legs, right? That's why I call it a tripod. It's Twitter without the moral battle. Hey, it's fun. I think it's fun. I'll be sitting there scrolling and like reposting and replying to stuff all the time. But this is kind of a pain to get this shot. Like, it's good, but it takes too long to set up. So I have to like wrap the back leg around it, and then the other two I gotta wrap in such a way to where the camera doesn't twist in a weird way, so where it doesn't lean. It's kind of hard to get that balance of where it's like tight, while it also is still lined up, good shot. So, of course, this dude, Dad, be popping off with the threads, dude. It's you gotta get on it early and just gotta post like crazy, and that's you're gonna get some stuff. I've been getting like a bunch of followers the last 24 hours, so it's super dope. Love all the car content in this video, dude. I'm telling you what, it's gonna be a sad day when I don't drive this car anymore. I was thinking about this. I actually thought of a video idea a little while back. Was like I could tell a story, like make a whole video about my car, like the memories and like the time spent in the car and like all the miles put on it, and like just go back, have like a nostalgic car remembering video. Like as soon as this car, knock on wood, whenever this car dies, or like when I replace it or whatever, like whatever comes first, I'll make a video about this car. And like because if you really think about it, this car has been like a canvas. I was thinking about that. I legit had that idea. I was like, for the culture, man. For those, but no, I was thinking about doing like a nostalgic type of vlog where like I spent the entire commentary portion of the video, the whole monologue would be like made in the car, and I would talk about and I would reminisce on like the memories and the old videos and everything that has to do with the car. I would go back and like revisit. So like I would talk about the 24 hours, the 48 hours, the fixing the door handles, the putting in the GoPro mounts. Like, I'm serious. It's like, it's an emotional like attachment, dude. But it would be such a good video, I think, because like it would establish the relationship, like especially for the people that have seen the videos in the past. It would establish, or it would be like a closing of that relationship, because I mean it's an underrated thing. Like it's like a character in my vlogs. It's the car. The car is a character, right? Like it is a setting, if anything, where I'm in the car always. You always, in every video I make, you see the car, right? It's always in the videos. And it always plays a role, not always is it like a prominent role, but it always plays a role. So whenever oh man, it's gonna be a sad day. It's gonna be a sad day. It's gonna be a sad video. I'm gonna cry making that video. It's gonna be, oh man. But no, it's been a big part of the channel, so I definitely need to pay homage to it once its time comes.
That is like this, and I have it attached to my steering wheel, which isn't.
You can kind of see in my glasses here. Let's check it out. In my glasses, you can kind of see how it's set up on the on the steering wheel. It's not very stable and sturdy. It's kind of a screwy little thing, but it was definitely something that wasn't sustainable as far as, and it's also on my steering wheel. Like, I can't do anything with that. Like, it's very limiting.
Particularly convenient or ideal. I mean, it's a good shot. I mean, it's square and everything, but it's just it's subject to the steering wheel. I mean, it's stuck in a perfect.
And I almost cut that section out where I was talking about it on the steering wheel, because I was like, well, does that really contribute to like the story? And I was looking back in the edit, I was like, yeah, it does. It's important because that establishes the why the heck am I making this thing in the first place? That is like, okay, besides the fact that I want to get that shot, why would I make this thing if I can already get a good stable shot in the car? So I established the why with that. And so I think that's why I kept it in, because I was seriously getting close to cutting that part out, but I left it in on purpose.
World, I would like to have it up on the dash somewhere, but there's only like, 4 to 6 inches of space to where that just simply can't happen. Except this right here. About a month ago, whenever I made the concert vlog, I used that particular GoPro mount to shoot like a carpool karaoke type of shot in the car. I loved that shot, super wide, super nice, but the audio on the GoPro's always been a...
Yes, storytelling at its finest. Let's go! That's one of the reasons I'm excited for Vlogmas, is because I've gotten so much better at storytelling in my videos. So once I'm able to do them daily again, it should be a fun little grind. Which, again, I'm thinking about Vlogmas, being like, man, I'm gonna have a hard time doing it during the days that I work. Like, bro, that's gonna be tough because I work 10-hour days, and that's a lot of time. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Gosh, dang it! I don't want it to be. God, I just want to make vlogs every day, bro. Maybe by December I'll be monetized and making at least $14 an hour, so I could just quit. That'd be cool.
Question. Not only that, but it's the GoPro. It's not my main shooter. So with that in mind, I want to figure out a way to be able to mount this camera, the Sony ZV-1, to the GoPro dash mount. And over the past week or so, I've been formulating an idea for a design that would allow me to mount my camera, my ZV-1, to
this, but maybe 24 through 26, Vlogmas, but maybe 24. So, what exactly, the 24th through the 26th, the week of? Oh, the week of Christmas, okay. So maybe we could do I don't know. I could also do 4 a week. Go back to the 4 per week schedule, but during December. I don't know. It'd be interesting. It's something I need to think about. Because I really want to do just every day in December. But bro, I don't know. I need to figure that out. I need to really just, because I also don't want to kill myself doing it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just absolutely work myself to death. I would work. Yeah, there's just, even just the day I work 8 to 6, that Tuesday, there's no way, because I get up early, go straight to work, get off, work later, and then there's no way I could do that. That's depressing. Because I really, really wanted to do it. But I'll definitely have to figure something out. Because I want to post more often. Maybe December is I go back to 4 a week for a month. Maybe. Or maybe I don't even do it. Maybe December is daily podcasts. The whole week. It's a podcast miss. Now there's something. That's an idea. Chloe, that's out of the question. Skipping Tuesday streams, out of the question. It's out of the question. I will not do it. Unless I'm literally out of town, cannot physically do it, I will not skip it. Tuesday streams are second priority list to the main channel videos. That's just as simple as it is. But yeah, we'll have to figure something out. Because I really just want to make a bunch of content in December to end the year off with a bang. But anyway, yeah, I just, that sucks I can't do it, because I know it's just going to be too much. Again, I just want to get everybody, a mission, you have some homework. Just go through the entire channel, watch every second of every video I've ever made, just to get the watch time up, so I can not work at Taco Bell by December. Wouldn't that be so fun to like, if the channel like blew up or something and I could quit my job like before the start of the next year? That'd be awesome. Bet. Hey, finish the stream first. We'll finish watching this stream first, and then we'll take care of that. But anyway, let's get back to the commentary because I'm excited for this video. I love this video.
Anything that a GoPro can pretty much mount to. I just hope that when I make this thing...
And see, okay, that was also something intentional. Obviously, like, every clip that I make in the recording, I always have to like sit there for a second and think of what I'm going to say. But I think it serves the story.
Anything that a GoPro can pretty much mount to.
So this, I did the J cut. So like the next video starts before the previous audio ends. So like it overlays. So that's a visual transition. But I left this in because this is like genuine me thinking about what I'm going to say next. However, it serves the story because what this does is it shows the viewer like, okay, I'm in the planning and the formulating ideas process of making this thing, and I'm trying to figure out like, is it actually going to work? Like, is it actually going to be as simple as I think it's going to be, or is it going to be completely difficult and completely ridiculously hard to do?
I just hope that when I make this thing, it's actually as simple as I think it's going to be.
And again, music transition. The music starts before the next montage. Which this montage, I tell you what, I made this in the edit and I was so psyched about it. Like, I'm trying to think. There was a lot of times in the edit I was like making these montages, and then afterwards I was like, oh man, and I just like started clapping. It's so awesome, dude. I love it whenever I can edit a video and then get super psyched about it while I'm editing it, because that just means it's gonna be a good video because I'm like excited about it while I'm making it. Because if you're bored during the edit, like people that dread editing, they just don't like their videos. That's what it sounds like. I like how you foreshadowed a slight struggle. Yes, thank you, Brent, for saying that, because there's a lot of like, I'm like, I hope it is as easy as I think it's going to be. And then later, I say something like, oh, this actually, it's whenever I'm trying to figure out if the screw and the GoPro mount are going to fit together, I was like, well, I figured that out. That is going to work. And in reality, it hits me. I'm like, well, actually, it didn't. Because I was looking at the footage and I was like, well, I actually didn't have the GoPro mount centered, so like it wasn't where it needed to be. But anyway, I love this montage. Something about this montage that's important is that I didn't use any of the same, like, there was so much, like, this whole montage was made up of probably like 10-15 minutes worth of footage, and it all was, I reduced it down to where each cut is a different shot. So that keeps it re-engaging and keeps it interesting. Boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam, boom, bam. And then this is, I'm going to let you watch it through and I'm going to go back and talk about it.
I need to find some screws that are the 1/4 inch size that fit into this camera. And now
Okay, so that, did you notice how my voice had some kind of audio effect on it? It had what's called a high pass, and so it sounds kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, but that's what it's called in my editor. It just sounds a little different, and there's a reason I did that. And there's a reason that I put it where I put it, and in the order that I like. It's all intentional, because so this section where I'm talking right here, I'm sitting in my kitchen, I'm talking. That previous audio of me talking was part of this section of video. But I was intentionally, while I was recording, I was talking sort of past tense because I wanted to make sure that that montage had a little bit more context, because if you don't really, it's harder to follow it if it doesn't have that little extra, in my opinion. So,
it's going to be
the reason I edited that audio in that way. So hold on. Okay. As soon as I come onto screen, this montage, this audio is like kind of sort of in the back channel of your head. So what this represents is me walking through the store thinking. It represents me thinking about, like, these words that I'm saying are my thoughts. That's why they're edited in a different way, to where it serves a different purpose. It's not like a direct me talking to you. It is me talking my inner dialogue. This is my inner dialogue right here.
Need to find some screws that are.
And it's like I'm looking inquisitive too. I'm just sitting around. I'm like, I'm like trying to find the thing, and you can see that and you can hear that.
I need to find some screws that are the 1/4 inch size that fit into this camera.
And I obviously you can tell that I did that. So that whole little sequence, that like 5-second sequence, it's okay. I need to find this. Boom, boom, boom. I found it. So you're getting that quick little. Okay, this is what needs to happen. I'm looking around. I found it. You get a quick little satisfaction. Brent says it's the small things that really make these vlogs great. Thank you. And that's with any video. No matter if it's mine or somebody else's, it's the small parts that you don't really take, like you take for granted, the things you don't really think about, that a lot of care goes into, that it's what makes the videos good.
Now that I got the hardware that I need for this particular project, this GoPro mount, I need to cut the piece of wood.
I was thinking it was so much fun because I was talking about cutting. And then the whole time I'm like, haha, cut, like cutting the wood and / cutting in the edit. Like it's all an editing pun.
GoPro mount.
I want to just watch the entirety of this wood cutting section. No pauses, no talking, just I want to enjoy it because I love this section of the thing. This is such a fun part of the video.
I need to.
And it was fun to edit too. It's all fun to edit, but you know.
Cut the piece of wood.
Yes, sir. That was the part of the edit I was actually editing. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so perfect. So let me walk you through this part a little bit. So,
cut the piece of wood.
This is all fairly. Dang it! So there's nothing really I want to say about this beginning section. This right here, the GoPro while I'm walking. Okay, there was a cut that you probably couldn't tell was there. Okay, watch this very carefully. When I've cut this, what I did was I lined up my steps to where, as I'm stepping, boom, the step cuts, boom, boom, the step cuts again. So you're gonna see the ground behind my feet change, but my feet are in the same spots. So like it makes it a smooth. Like I'm progressing in my walking, but you can't tell because the background changes. So like it looks like I'm just walking smooth when in reality it's like 3 cuts. Oh shoot. Oh, that was so satisfying. It was so smooth. Look at that. And it only happened once because I just didn't really think about it beforehand. But like, oh man.
Cut the
I want to watch that again. I want to rewatch that again.
Piece of wood.
Oh, bro. Oh. I love that so much. That is so dope. Cause it like the ground, it just changed, but I walk in the same. That's actually, isn't it, dude? That's so cool. Oh my gosh! I'm watching it again. I don't care. I should have done it with the cut before that too. That way it was like boom, boom. It would, I think, help with the pacing a little bit, but that's hindsight. It's 2020. Oh, that shot right there. This shot. I love this shot. I love it. You got the vanishing point, which is a beautiful thing, image composition. And then this whole thing, I want to describe this shot, the sawing sequence. So I have the GoPro on, as you can see. I have the GoPro on, and I'm shooting with the ZV-1 from down the bench. The audio is all from the ZV-1, from the saw. The audio stays the same. But I lined up the footage with the GoPro, so that way the images sync up as well. So it's going to cut between the visuals, so you're getting context, and it's like it's keeping you engaged, whereas it's the same exact, like if I just left this shot in there, just boom, it'd be boring. But I have the ZV-1 and the GoPro shooting the exact same time, so I sync those up, and you cut back and forth, and then it almost creates suspense, because you cut back and forth, you're like, uh-oh. And it kind of like, it's one of those things where like you see it and you start to lean forward in your seat. And then the final cut is me chopping the wood. So it cuts back and forth, and that whole little thing serves a purpose, and that's why it's so satisfying. That's why when I watch it back, I just freak out, because it's like, so good. And then, oh my god, it's just so, I love it. I love it. And then this audio just kind of like fades out really. It's funny. The audio of the saw, it kind of like it's high and then it goes because like the saw is like slowing down. I let that audio trail instead of cutting it. I just let it trail out. At the same time, the music fades out, and that's that transition between the cut, the wood cut, not the video cut, but the cut, and the next part. So in the background, you can kind of hear with this. So like listen, and you'll hear the saw cutting, and then it won't, like it just fades out naturally because that's how the thing turns off.
All right.
So that whole walking, like that whole second and a half of walking, in the background, if you pay attention, you can hear that saw sort of winding down. And also, one other thing I wanted to show with this. Okay, if you notice, every time, so I have that GoPro shot of me cutting the saw, of cutting the wood, and then I have the ZV-1 shot of the same thing. Every time it cuts back to the ZV-1, it crops in ever so slightly. So you're getting a little bit closer and closer and closer to the thing that's happening, like the subject matter of the video. You're getting closer to that. So the purpose of that was to like sort of draw you in a little more, because as it gets closer and closer to happening, the suspense, you physically in the video you get closer and closer and closer to the subject. So let's watch it, and with that in mind, let's replay it. And it's one of those things it's kind of hard to tell, but it's a subliminal thing. It's subconscious. I love this. I love doing this. It's so much fun. Oh man.
All right. That was easy money. Got the pieces we needed. Now all I got, really as simple as it is, all I gotta do now is just like drill 2 holes, and then that's it. That's all I have planned.
And then we change the feel of the music. The music changes, and this is 100% deliberate, as you probably know at this point. It goes from kind of like rock vibe, and like you're getting done, and then you're boom boom, and then it goes from like sort of an electronic, like a boom 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 boom. And that switches the feel from, we're getting it done to progression to the next step. That was sort of the feel I wanted to implement, was the feel of progression, and it's getting intense because it's like we're getting closer and closer and closer to the real deal of what's happening. We're getting closer and closer and closer. So we're building up to the climax of the video, or of the story. So that's what this music is meant to progress the story.
So at this point in the mission, I've got the pieces of wood cut out that I want to use.
And this particular section is the deliberate. And
so
it's to update. Hey, climax funny. It's to sort of reestablish what we've done so far. That way, in case, because it's I don't know how to describe it. It's my intention with this is to, if you're watching, we're getting to another part of the story. So I want to make sure that the back end so far that we've seen, that we're sort of on the same page and we know what's happened. That way it makes going into the next part of the story easier to digest, because you know what you've got going on already, if that makes sense.
I'm heading back to the office now so I can finish the process, so let's go.
And this shot was intentional too, because I was driving, but like I shot the GoPro mount. That way, that is like, that's one of those intuition things to where I didn't know why, but I felt like I had to shoot that. I had to get that shot for some reason. I just did. I guess it's like that is where the camera's going to end up. I guess that's what my thought was.
So I've got this piece marked up where I want it to go, where I want the holes to be. I can foresee a couple of problems coming up. These dots represent a hole for these screws to go through. I marked them in specific spots on purpose because one of them, the GoPro one, the one that's going to attach to this little guy, is going to be centered. I want it to be centered on the rig, right? So I want it to be like right in the middle. And then the camera one, I want it to be offset slightly because the screw mount on the camera is offset slightly. So the ZV-1 is gonna sit really, really close to flush on this piece, while the GoPro mount is gonna come out the center of the bottom. So both things are gonna be centered. Problem number one is that this screw, see how there's like, how the top of it is? If I can't get it to where it's almost exactly level with the top of this piece of wood, it's gonna scrape the bottom of the camera and be difficult to deal with. Another question.
Okay, so that whole talking section, I was really, I was questioning it basically the whole time in the edit, because I wasn't sure if it was over explanation, or if it was like too vague, or like it didn't. I wasn't sure if I did the job of really properly explaining what I was trying to do, but I watched it back a couple of times and I was like, all right, I think this is probably the best way to describe it, because I was trying to figure out if I should describe it in a different way, but it felt like it made sense. It's important, right? And that's what I ended up coming to, was like that it is important, but my main question was, I think if I did it in a way that was actually like that you could actually understand, like that made sense, which I think I did. Like, I think it makes sense. That's why it's in there. Obviously, I think it made enough sense to leave it in. So a question I had in the process of producing this was like, maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Question I have, which should be relatively easy to address, is
I made it like this second problem. I was like, oh yeah, it'd be easy money, whatever. When in reality, it was like the biggest setback of the whole project.
There's the width of that top of the screw, and then there's the width of the GoPro piece, which I just have solved it by holding it up to the camera. There's gonna be enough space, so we're good on that one. The main question is making sure this screw is flush with the piece.
This section, before it happens, I want to tell a little about it. This next sequence is like B-roll type of montage, but it's a montage without music. And I did that on purpose because it was a practice, if anything, because one thing that Evan and I talked about in our podcast the other day was how in the past we've done where like you cut on sort of a cue. So, I do the drill noise. And right when I click that and it makes a noise, it cuts to the next thing. And then I drop the drill bits on the floor. And as soon as that impact happens, I cut to the next thing. So there's a little noise that happens each cut, and that drives the narrative forward. I'm getting this thing, boom. I'm getting this thing, boom. I'm getting this thing, boom. I'm collecting the materials that I need to build this thing. And so each impact or each sound effect serves a purpose in motivating the next cut. Boom, boom, boom. Each thing happens. It's like, okay, I've got this thing, boom. Got this thing, boom. Got this thing, boom. And it drives it forward, and then before you know it, all the cuts have happened. It's very satisfying, and then you've gotten through that little montage without a scrap of music. And that's something that I've talked about before, how Van Neistat was talking to his music guy, and they were talking about how important music is, yet how overused it can be, because I didn't need music in that sequence to get the point across. I did not need it at all. Not a lick. But like I could have easily put music in there, and then it immediately lost like half of the effect that it had, because you don't have that sound effect action. You don't have that sound design. There's what's called Foley. It's simply just regular basic sound effects. So like the drill is Foley, the dropping of the thing on the floor, the impact, every little thing, all those little sound effects. And I actually amplified the volume in the edit. I made them louder because I want that to be a point of focus, because you're seeing what's going on. You're seeing me gather up the tools, but you're also hearing it. So you're getting that double-edged impact of taking information. So let's watch it and let's gawk over it, because I'm about to freak out over here. I'm like so excited about this video, dude. I love it. I love it.
This screw is flush with the piece. So the first problem that I had that I was worried about...
See, that was so easy to watch, and you didn't need music. I think that's a challenge. I need to do that one day. I gotta write that down. I want to make a video entirely without music. That would be fun. I could try that. That'd be a good little vlog challenge. Let me make a new page for it. Vlog challenge. Make entire vlog with no music. It's the focus. Music would feel novelty at that particular instance. Exactly. Great way to put it. It would just feel too like it wouldn't fit. And I think honestly too, not having the music enhances like the focus. Like you're focusing in, because the feel that I was feeling in that time, I'm like, all right, I'm focused on doing this thing. I'm focused on getting this put together. So to make that the focus of the video and make you guys feel that is part of the art of it. I'm translating that feeling that I was feeling to you guys, because you're lasering in on the project. So I'm helping you. I'm assisting you guys in becoming invested in the project, which is dope. About the screws actually getting flush with the wood, that was no problem. I ended up having, and again, I'm doing this again where I have this talking shot. This headshot that I made, it's all after. I made the entire thing before that talking shot. So the talking shot, like all this footage was no talking. I was playing music in the background for most of it, except for the parts that have sound effects, obviously. But I was playing music through most of it. So all the talking I did was talking about past tense, how it happened. So you're still you're seeing what I'm doing, but I'm not like talking you through it. I'm more so talking about how it went. Having to chip out some of the plywood in order for it to get flush, but it worked out just fine. And then the other problem of that was so cool. I'll tell you why. The reason I did that, flush, but it worked out. It worked out just fine. End of sentence. Just fine. Drop it. Recapture your attention. And then the other problem of the screw. So I was addressing the first problem first, right? So I was wondering if the screw would end up flush with the wood. It did. Throw the thing on the ground, recapture attention, boom. The next problem, and the GoPro mount being too close together, it did end up posing some kind of an issue. And then see, oh gosh, the music comes in again. Because I was like, all right, this thing, it actually ended up being a problem. Music. And then you're like, why the hell is he lighting matches? That, as a viewer, I don't say anything about matches. I did in the video recording. I said something about matches, but I cut it because I wanted the viewer to ask themselves a question, like, why in the world is this dude using matches? Pro mount being too close together, and then it makes you engaged because you're thinking about it. You're like, why is he using matches? And then if you think hard enough, you're like, you can add it together and be like, you know what? He's gonna melt the thing, and then eventually you'll get proven right if that's what you think. It grabs the attention. I was like, "Yo, fire! Yes, see, it did its job. Let's go!" I love it. And I was like, "Okay, this is the problem. Let's see if we can solve it." Cuts to lighting a match. Like that, dude. Come on. It did end up posing some kind of an issue. Dude, come on. Like I'm catching myself. You see how low my head is right now? I'm catching myself like zooming my face into the screen, like getting closer and closer and closer because I'm so interested. I'm like, whoa. Also because it's my video and I really like it, so like it's different. That should do it. Oh yeah, baby. Haha, let's go. Yes. But then after I got the legit, I was like, hey, fire, dude. God, dude. Oh man. GoPro mount put in, and I melted it to fit the other camera screw. I actually ran into another problem, and this problem was one I actually wasn't expecting. Like I said, see, this is cool. What this is I'm addressing the problems that I knew I would have, but there's a surprise in that. Hey, there's another problem that I wasn't expecting. Again, another element of the story. It's so good. It just adds, like. And really, if you think about it, the problems that I foresee being problems, you can't really consider them as big of problems because I'm already expecting them to happen. So the real problem is that there was this problem that happened that I wasn't expecting. So it was kind of it threw me off. I said before, I want to use this rig for my dash. And this is the mount that I will be attaching it to slip it onto my dash, that little holder there. So the problem I had was that the mount I was using had one of these little guys on the end of it. So taking this metal piece out was pretty easy. It was just pliers, boom. But then I had to do something about the piece that the metal piece is held in. And so after some contemplation yet again, I was coming up with an idea and more fire idea, and I figured, you know what? I've already mangled this GoPro mount anyway, I may as well finish the job. So what I did was I went ahead and melted and ripped off that third piece. So now oh, music's back again, you hear it build up. I'm finally going to be able to attach the ZV-1 to my dash. The amount of matches adds a lot too. Yeah, I use a lot of matches, but like I wasn't sure how the struggle with the product. Exactly, it adds depth if you pay that much attention. And also the music buildup, it's transitioning to the third act. This video I think is a really good 3-act narrative because you got I solved all the problems and now the music builds you up, and then okay, the car is where I wrap up the video, and it's the third act. It's very clear because I've got the thing, I've built it completely. That's the struggle. And then the third act, which is the resolution, is this. And putting the mount in place and being pleasantly surprised and being pleased with the result. And again, another struggle. It's hot. Okay, it's pretty hot in here, so I'm gonna make it quick. So I just need to screw this little dude on, which it's not and it re-engages with the text on the screen too. Perfectly tight, but it's tight enough for this example. Okay, so I've got the camera attached. And I also, another very intentional thing, I don't know if you noticed it, but the cuts are a lot further apart. I slow the pacing down way far because the music is guiding you through the slower pace. In the slower pace, the intention of that is it's a build-up. I'm trying to you're seeing it slowly develop. I'm putting the thing on. I'm walking you through it. Minimal cuts. It's slower. That way, it's resolution pace, Brent. He says it's resolution pace. Exactly. I'm slowing it down. Like you're boom, 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 boom. We're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. And then all of a sudden, boom. The problem's resolved. And let's see how it goes. And then we'll ease you into that last little section. And again, that's why the music is a little bit louder. There's text on screen, so you're doubly engaged. Even though the pacing slows down, I'm re-engaging you in other ways. It's not perfectly tight, but it's tight enough for this example. Okay, so I've got the camera. And it's very loose cuts, too. It's very rough cuts. It's a lot of, it feels amateur, but in a good way. It feels like it's effective. Camera attached to the GoPro mount. The contents of my pocket is the mount and the screw. We're simply just gonna attach. Alright, so now we've got it attached, so it's secure. So it's all a matter of, and I can afford to have the music be louder to be more effective because I have that text on screen that helps you if you can't hear it or whatever. It assists there. So I can afford to have that music louder, which in turn is more effective as the music. Because you're kind of like building up the anticipation of me actually using the thing and seeing how it works. Just locking it in place. And look at that, there's even room for the mic. We can adjust it if need be. Let's take a look and see. Yo, that's really good. Cut the music, boom. This is my reaction. Good. Oh, that's so much better than I thought it would be. And I could honestly too, if I wanted to, I could move it slightly more. Oh, that's all. And the music comes back for the conclusion of the resolution. Oh, that's perfect. Wow, look how perfect that shot. I'm just gonna, dude, that is seriously so perfect. Oh my gosh. Dude, check this out. That is everything I dreamed it would be. That is perfect. Bro, it would be hot in here, but it works. I'm so psyched about this. Now, okay, let's be real. Dude, I'm sitting here smiling because I like the music assists it. It's so effective. The last section is so effective. The music is assisting me in feeling. It's helping me relate. At least as the way I'm viewing it is, I'm excited in the video. I'm happy. I'm smiling. And the music is like getting a little bit happier, more upbeat. And so it's like you were brought along this whole experience. And so as a viewer, the intention was to make the viewer feel the same. Because you had to go through with me. You went through all of the struggle and all the crap I had to deal with to get to this point. And the relief that I feel in the movie is the same, or what is trying to be translated to the viewer, to the audience.
Real. This is going to be basically almost exclusive. This is going to be for like car monologue / montage. Let me turn it around. See, I'll be able to look out front. The windshield's kind of in the way of the mic, so I'm sorry if it kind of sounds terrible. That is very, very cool. I think some value that can be taken from this video.
And then we gotta
sometimes making something yourself is so satisfying. I'm sure somewhere out there on the internet I could find this particular rig to where it's like a GoPro mount and you have a 1/4" screw and like it fits a camera, but something about doing it this way felt really good in my soul. You know, I had to cut the wood, I drilled the holes,
And see, this, I love this where I like go back and recap what I had to do to get to this point. What I love about this is that it reminds you where we started and how we got to where we are now. I think it's a good recap. And it's quick. And it's not like it's super drawn out. It's like, you know, I was talking about how I loved that I was able to just make this thing. It outlines the journey. Yes, I love it too. It's so awesome. Because it's like, you guys were along with me, and I'm like, sitting there. I'm like, I love that I was able to make this thing. You know, it felt really good. Starting the recap, it felt really good cutting the wood, drilling the holes, doing the things. Like it's like a recap of the whole journey, and it shows and it really amplifies the fact that at the end of this video, I am changed, or there is a transition of sorts, which is really good story actually, really really good story. One of my best videos as far as story goes. The outline of it is just really really nice. It's just, I love it, dude. I love this video.
I bought the screws, and I, along the way, solved problems. And I think that is one of the fun things about it is, you know, you not only do you get the thing in the end, but you get the experience of going through and jumping over all the hurdles and fixing things and figuring it out. And I think that's something I love so much in this life is being able and being put into situations to where you got to figure it out. And once you get out of those situations, like this, where I had a bunch of problems, but I ended up solving them. To me, that feels really, really good, and I really like that. So yeah. This is perfect. I love this. I'm so happy with this. It's hot in here, dude.
Dude, that's it. Dude. And another cool thing is this video. Boom. The up next is the big camera video, the ZV-1 review thing. So cool, dude. So cool. I'm so happy with this video. I think long term this video is going to do really well. Because it's a searchable video, yet it's got a really good story to it. Let me know what you guys think in the chat the last 15 minutes or so. I want to do a serious like back and forth with the chat, talking about just everything. What are your thoughts? Like, I know you guys commented on the video, but what are your thoughts to an extension? Like, describe more of how the video made you feel, if it made you feel anything. Because I'm just so interested to hear, like, I know the video made me feel something. So I want to get your guys' perspective on how it made you feel. Because it just, oh my gosh. Wider audience. We're looking at it's 3 hours in now, so it's got the view duration on the app and stuff. Got more impressions than usual, therefore a lower click-through rate. It's kind of low. It's at 1.6%. It's kind of low. Almost an hour of watch time. Cool. It was engaging, and I like the whole step-by-step process you took us through, as opposed to just, well, I'm done. That's fair. I agree. I like that, and that was something I wanted to. I think there's a line too, because it sometimes can feel too step-by-step. Like it can feel too, okay, I'm doing this, and now I'm doing this, and now I'm doing this. Like it feels like if you're not careful, it can feel like an instruction manual, like you're doing the step-by-step thing. Whereas if you the way I tried to do it was to, like I said, implement the story to where the step-by-step was like parts of the journey, as opposed to just steps. I wanted to make it feel more so of a journey as opposed to a step-by-step. So I liked that. I liked that insight, Brent. It was good stuff. So I'm looking at the thing. The click-through rate is low. But I'm like, it's the first 3 hours. Chill. But also, I want to see... I don't know what I'm looking for exactly. I don't know. It's funny, too. You know what's awesome to me? That this is... That the fact that I've been making these better videos, the standard of the last 10 videos ranking is so much higher. Because, like, this video right now is 8 of 10. It's low. But the standard of, you know, a month ago, or a couple of months ago, before I started doing once a week, this video's number 1 of 10. Easy. It's without a doubt 1 of 10. But now it's 8 of 10 because the quality is increased astronomically. And I think really, and it's 8 of 10, but it's 3 views away from being 3 of 10. So it's all neck and neck. So it's consistency, I think. That's what that shows me, is that's consistency. The Louis vlog is just, it's got, Jesus, it was big. It still is. It's great. I love it. The view duration is above 50% too, which is nice. 411, and the video's 806. Very good. Very good stuff. I don't know. I like the thumbnail. I don't know if it's. I want to let it. Obviously, I want to let it breathe for a while. Let the video exist for a minute before I do any changes. But yeah, I'm psyched. I'm psyched with it. We love high view duration, dude. Just watch it to the end. It's that easy, you know. I love it. Let me pull it up on the computer since I'm looking at it on my phone and on the computer at the same time. So it's like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm using up valuable YouTube studio time. So we got browse features for the most part. Oh, it hit 1 hour of watch time. It was at 0.9. I was looking at my phone. But I want to see browse features. Browse features. That's most of what it is so far, which makes sense because it's not going to be getting searched at this moment in time. Once it hit, once it hits 1,000 impressions, it kind of like spikes up a little bit. So that's cool. But it's something I was talking to Evan about too. I really don't want to, as of right now, and just in general with videos, I don't want to check analytics super hard, super early, because it kind of messes with your head in that it's like, it feels like it should be doing better. Like if you see that 8 of 10, it kind of is derailing in a lot of ways. I've sort of desensitized myself. Not desensitized, I don't think that's a good word, but I've sort of become okay with a video starting off slow because I've seen it time and time again where they'll start off slow and then after its first week, it's the best video of the last 10. Like it's 1 of 10 in its first week. So it could start off slow, but you never want to judge it off of its first 24 hours. As much as people say that the first 24 hours is the most important, like it can, in a way it is, but also in a way it's not. It'll drive you crazy. You make terrific content. It's something you should be proud of for sure. It'll make its rounds. Got to have faith. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Absolutely. Because if it's good, it's going to get out there. And if you believe that it's good, then it'll get out there. You just got to wait. You got to be patient with it. Because, let me just use the concert vlog is a good example, but it kind of started off faster. Let me see here. But the video I made about the best vlog ever, like the last one I did 3 weeks ago or whatever, that video started off really slow. But I changed the thumbnail, which partly helped, but also it just took it a minute to get its spike, right? It took it a little while. Same with a lot of my other, like the gear. Does gear really matter? Sony ZV-1 versus GoPro. That's at 264 views right now. But it started off like 9 or 10 out of 10. Like it was really slow. It picked up in search. And you give it time to breathe on the platform. It's not going to just pop right away. You know, you're not Mr. Beast. You're not going to get a million views in the first hour. It's just not going to happen. But you let it breathe. You give it some time to sort of sink into the thing. Get it pushed out a little bit. Get some searches, whatever. Then you are going to be in better shape. And actually, I kind of want to see something. I want to see something real quick. Is there a Photoshop document of the thumbnail I just recently made? It looks like a no. I kind of want to do something with the thumbnail. I had an idea, like, earlier today that I wanted to edit with a thumbnail. I don't know. I'm probably gonna make it and then not add it onto the video until later if I even change the thumbnail. I thought about changing the background because it's a little too basic as far as color. I don't want to overdo the background. Like I don't want to over edit the background, make it too crazy. But also, let's see, Photoshop. No, that's PDF. I want to do a Photoshop file, PSD. There we go. Vlog 618. Okay, so I didn't save the thing as a Photoshop file. Dang it. Okay. I think we'll let it rock for now, actually. I'm going to let it rock and not make a new one and then just see what happens. 'Cause like I said, you can't judge anything off of the basic. Like I said, I do kind of want to see what I could do with it. Like the thumbnail, make it a little bit different. But also, I think it's good now. I think it's good now. The thing is, I think it's simple. And it needs to stay simple. Because it's more simple the thumbnail, the better, really. Because it's simply more effective. Okay, it can be, because if there's too much going on, it distracts and it just makes you like, this is honestly, I think it's a good thumbnail. I think it's a good thumbnail because I'm excited about it, and then you have me pointing to the subject matter. The subject is big. It's in your face. Like it's you see it. I made a GoPro mount for my SONY ZV-1. This is the thing. It's got a relationship, so it's good. I'm just overthinking the thumbnail. I think I am. I have that habit where I'll just overthink it for no good reason, and eventually, like it'll come back. It'll all be good. It'll be good. I know it's a good video too, so like it'll the people that do click on it will get it pushed out to other people. So I'm excited for that. I like that. I don't know. I think like I said before, I think one of the number one reasons my videos have been doing better is that the thumbnails are better. Something in my brain with the thumbnails, it just clicked. Something just clicked. And they feel better. Like I've learned something in my conscience that has made these videos, thumbnails, better. I don't know. Man, I love doing this. I can't wait till it's my job. I'm so excited for that. Speaking of that, let's check the watch hours. I think that's thumbnail keying. That'd be so. I would love for that to be my thing. Like, makes the best thumbnails. Like, I could make people's thumbnails for them as a side gig. So, the other day, I crossed 2,500 watch hours, and I have not dipped below that since then. I've gone up as high as 2,512, and I've been steadily sticking around 2,504. So that's good. I'm just going to continue to go up. I think by the end of the day, it should change again, but I don't know. It's cool. So after this podcast, after this stream, my intention is to go back to the podcast that Evan and I did. I'm going to download the video, and then I'm going to cut shorts, because I have all the timestamps made, so I'm going to cut shorts from each timestamp, which is going to be nice. So I have sort of it's going to be easier, I think, to cut, because usually it cutting shorts from the stream is kind of hard, because I gotta watch through the entire thing, and like I would write down manually with a pen what the timestamps were that I wanted to use, as opposed to just like this way. I did the work already. I could just go through, click on each timestamp, figure out which ones I think are more worth cutting, and then use those. And then I've talked to Evan. I'm gonna send him some of the clips of the shorts, that way he can use them for his content as well. I'm gonna give him the ones. And guys, seriously, go check out Evan's channel. Like, he makes good videos. He makes really good videos. He's awesome. So give him some love. Tell him you came from here, if you want. Obviously, it's your time. It's whatever. You do what you want. But no, I'm gonna give him some of the clips of him saying stuff, like of him giving value, because his audience will resonate more with him saying something than they will with me saying something. So I'm gonna be mindful of that and give him the content that's. I'm not gonna give him all the shorts, because all of them just would make it'd be a lot, and I just want to give him the ones that his audience would resonate most with. So, and because like that's the thing, is like it's great to have him on the podcast. It's great for me, but at the end of the day, it's an absolute win-win, because his audience is gonna get something out of it. My audience is getting something out of it. It's cooperation. Exactly, Brent. Exactly. So it's really just a dub for both sides. And that's what I love about it. And I want to do more stuff like that. Like, I want to get more people, real people, on the podcast. Like, obviously, you guys are real people too, but it's different with the chat. it's different different than having a real life, like, virtual sort of talking back and forth dynamic. Either way. Also, the unboxing mini hoop videos got a little spike in the last 48 hours, which is cool. 60 minutes. I'm a bot, so it's funny. This director's commentary stream has got more views in the last hour than the actual video does. That's kind of funny. Ooh, trust your impulses. That video's getting some views. Interesting. Impulse buy. Black Friday is insane. Best burger in town. Beast Burger. That was so clickbait. That was. Oh wait, actually it wasn't, because I did talk about Beast Burger. I don't know. Whatever. The analytic report of the Louis vlog. That podcast is getting some stuff. I'm just kind of like doing some nerdy YouTube analytics chucking anyway. I think it's search. Yeah, it's search. YouTube search. Where? Oh yeah, search terms. Lee Thompson reaction. Blah blah blah. Yeah. Clickbait. LMAO. You know what to do. You know what to do. Oh man. I think I said this before, but I'm gonna say it again because why not? I'm at this moment in time on my YouTube journey. I'm at a really high. I'm at a high. Like, I'm really high right now. Don't clip that out of context. But like, I'm just high on what I'm doing. I'm really happy with what I've been making. I'm really happy with how it's been performing. I'm really happy with how people have been receiving it. Like, everything about it, the whole thing I've been doing in the last couple of months has been really good. I've been really, 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 really hyped about it. So thank you guys for enjoying the stuff that I've been making, because that really makes me happy. I'm going to just close out YouTube Studio because I need to stop looking at it. I actually do need to actually open it back up because I need to download that video so I can cut from it. Okay, so let's do that real quick. Chloe says, I'm really high right now. Olive, when she's on the catnip. Olive's like, bro, I'm really high right now. Not even gonna lie, bro. Okay, options. Download. It's gonna be a fat download. Hours left. 587 minutes. There's no way it's gonna take that long. Chloe, that's not something you say on the internet. Yeah. Although, it's like, what's that one guy that was on Instagram? I forget his name. But he would just comment on everybody's post and be like, I'm high AF right now, or something like that. What was that guy's name? I forgot. And he got banned for a minute, and then something, I don't know. Tell that to him. Fair. I said that on the internet too. No, there was that one guy that did that all the time, where he would just say that in people's comments. It was funny. This says it's got 2 hours left on the download, which is probably not true considering that I'm on live stream right now, so. With that said, gang, this has been an epic stream, epic director's commentary. I thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me for a little while. Thank you for watching. Thank you for enjoying the video. Thank you for all the things that you do for me and just do in general, because y'all are awesome. You all are awesome. If you know, you know. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. And today's day 7. We did it 7 days in a row. See you on Sunday next week for another director's commentary. It's going to be epic. I already know what that video is going to be about. It's going to be talking about like tradition and sort of like routine sort of thing. It's going to be a good video. Maddie's going to be in it. It's going to be a good time. We're going to go through like our traditions, like what we do when we're together. It's a fun time. It's going to be an epic video, so hope you guys are excited for it. And I'm excited to talk about it and like make it and stuff. So anyway, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been actually really fun. So thank you guys.